as you can tell, we have a new little setup. I usually record these podcasts in my car, but I don't have one anymore. I also record in a different area in my room, but that was not comfortable. So now we're in a different area. I'm sitting on my bed, as you can see. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't have a car anymore because I recently got in a car accident. That is not a funny topic, but I feel like there were some funny aspects of it that I would like to share. So, today I'm going to be telling a little story. Have a little story time moment. So, yeah. I don't have an outline, obviously. So, we're just going to get right into it. I got ready for school. This was on a Monday. This was a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago. It was the 3rd or like the 1st of March. I can't remember. It was like a couple weeks ago. Anyway, it was just a regular morning and I was getting ready for school. Get in the car to go pick up my younger cousin Paige because she can't drive because she's our little baby. So pick up my cousin Paige and she's like, hey, like my driveway's really icy. And I was like, oh really? And she's like, yeah, like go outside and go in my driveway. And I step on her driveway and it's like an ice skating rink. Like, not even joking. She was walking so slow to get to our car with all of her stuff. And so I'm like, okay, that's weird. But I was being dumb and I didn't think, well, actually it's not all my fault, but I should have been like, oh, the roads are probably icy. But that didn't register because where I live, they usually treat the roads. So my sister's driving and we're just driving down the road and she like turns her wheel a little bit. We're going like 40. The speed limit's like probably like 45. And we just start, if anyone knows what fishtailing is, that's what we started doing. Our car just starts, if you're watching the video version, the front of our car is just going all over the road. Thank God there wasn't any other cars on the road. And my sister Abby's driving. Thankfully, she didn't slam on her brakes, then we would have started spinning. I just think all of our initial reactions were really funny because while the car's like sliding all over the road, I'm saying some unchristian like words frequently. My cousin Paige is just screaming and my sister Abby is just like, it's fine, and she's trying to correct the slide, but it just was not working because the roads were so icy. Meanwhile, as all of us are freaking out, what song was it? It was a Johnny Orlando song. Oh, it was See You by Johnny Orlando. So while we're sliding all over the roads going, I don't want to talk about us, I just want to talk about, it's like this bass, like this, think of like a boy band song, like that was what was playing while we were all screaming. I just think that's a fun little detail to add. So as I said earlier, the car starts sliding and Abby's trying to correct it, but there's really nothing that she could do. We were gonna go in a ditch. So what Abby told me was that there was a side of the road that was a deep ditch, and then there was, to the left of it was a smaller ditch. And so she's like, okay, we're going in a ditch, like I'm just gonna pick a ditch, basically. Eventually we slide into a ditch, and we don't go in the ditch, but we're like in like the grass, like right before the ditch, like basically in someone else's yard. And I'm in the passenger seat, my cousin Paige is in the back, and Abby's obviously in the driver's seat. So we didn't roll, but when we crashed, we tipped on my side. So I was like on like near the ground basically. And I like genuinely I was telling people this like after the fact. I was telling people about it and they're like, "What were you thinking about?" And genuinely I wasn't thinking about anything. I was just scared. So eventually we're just sitting here tipped over, and Abby, like my fight or flight mode, like literally I just shut down while Abby was handling the situation great. So first thing Abby says, well, Paige and I were like, what do we do? What do we do? 'Cause we were tipped over. And so then Abby's like, get Paige out, get Paige out. Well, Abby's trying to like calm everyone down and handle the situation. I'm just staring at the dashboard like this, like just zoning out. And so I think that I was the first one to get out, or maybe it was Abby. Yes, I think Abby climbed over me. Well, first she opened up the sunroof and then climbed over me. And so then eventually, well, Abby just kept saying get Paige out, and so then eventually I just like got out and Paige was still in the car. And so then Paige got out, and then what else happened after that? Oh, then once we got out of the car, this guy, it was the neighbor who saw us sliding, comes running out of his house, and he's like, has a fire extinguisher in his hand. He's like, "Are you guys okay? Are you guys okay?" And we were all just standing by our crashed car, and we're like, "Yeah, we're all fine. Like, thank you so much." And so then we're standing there. Oh, I forgot to mention that while we were swerving, all of our phones were beeping because I don't know if this was Life 360, but I'm pretty sure it was the crash detection that was on. And so while we were swerving, all of our phones were beeping. And then when we like crashed, one of the phones was like, "You have been in a severe car crash." And I was just thinking, well, no duh. And so then once we got out of the car, Paige's phone just starts calling 911. Or maybe she called 911. I can't remember. But Paige's phone starts calling 911. And so then Paige is like, "I don't know what to do with this." And so then she hands the phone to me, and I was talking to the what are those people called? Oh, 911 operator? Duh. I think that's what it's called. I was talking to that lady, and she's like, I was just completely zoning out, so she kept having to re-ask questions. So then I told her where we were at, and then they sent an ambulance, and all these cars are driving past, and they're like asking if we're okay. And Paige and I were just, at this point, we're just laughing, and Abby was just worried. And so then, yeah, we got out of the car. Like, as soon as we got out of the car, we just started laughing. So anyway, this story's kind of all over the place because I keep forgetting things. But, so then the ambulance came, and they got our, like, information for something. Everyone was fine. We were all just, like, in shock. And what was so weird about it was that I felt, this is so weird, the ambulance comes, and then my mom, who was home, came, and I was talking to her, and I was like, I feel calm, but I looked down at my hand, and I was just like shaking. And she's like, "Oh, well, that's the adrenaline or whatever." And I was like, that's so weird. I think I was just in shock. My voice is dead. So then we had to, like, a police officer had to come and get a statement from us. And so then we did that. And then we went home to go change, because when we got out of the car, we were in a ditch that had a bunch of water in it. And so we had to jump into the literal baby river. So all of us had to go change. And So then no one was at Paige's house. Like Paige's parents were home, so she called them after just to let them know that she was okay. And then she grabbed stuff from her house because her parents weren't there. And then we went to our house to get our stuff and change for school because our clothes were all wet. And I have water stains on my Uggs. So if anyone knows how to get those out, that would be really helpful. Anyway, so then we changed and then went to school. And yeah, my mom took us and drove very slow. I definitely should have been more, like, what's it called? I should have paid more attention to the fact that Paige's driveway was icy. But I thought they would have treated the roads where we live, but they didn't. So that's why the roads were so bad. So yeah, and that's all. I also wanted to point out that as soon as we called 911, I was just amazed how quick they got there. So I think that made me appreciate first responders a lot more. So if you're listening to this and you're a first responder or you're a police officer or, you know, anything like that, thank you so much. I was just amazed at how quickly they got there. I also think that the EMT was like questioning Paige and I's sanity because we were just like dying laughing, and she probably thought that we hit our heads, but yeah, it was just how we were coping. So yeah. We were all just pretty much sore after. When I woke up the next day, my neck was like so stiff and really sore, and then my lower back hurt a lot later. But yeah, we were all just sore, and I don't know if it went away, but Abby had like a seatbelt mark. So yeah. R.I.P. Donna, you will be missed. She took many a hits and was a great first car. So yeah. Now we are currently car hunting, which is great timing because we're also, you know, college is expensive, cars are expensive. So yeah, I love Donna. She was older than me, but she served her time. So yeah. That's all I have for today. My voice is dead. So I'm gonna go. But thank you guys for listening, and I appreciate you. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Okay, that's all. Bye!